Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/AITA. In today's episode, AITA for not giving up my second free seat next to me in the plane? AITA for not wanting to help my so with our twins? AITA for refusing to vacation with my disabled friend anymore? Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. AITA for not giving up my second free seat next to me in the plane? I am obese. Like, I am comfortable having two seats in the plane type of obese. I am well aware of that, and I really don't like to bother people with my weight. A week ago, I was going to a conference by plane, and because I was going alone, usually when I fly with my boyfriend I don't buy two since he sits next to me, I bought two seats. I fit in one, but my side is usually touching the person next to me and I feel uncomfortable for them. It happened to me that they gave me nasty looks and I felt extremely uncomfortable the whole flight. So I sat down in the plane and put the armrest up so I would be really comfortable. Some couple came and they both sat next to me because they got separate seats and they noticed the seat next to me was empty. Exactly what I was afraid of happened. My side kept touching the guy next to me, and he even pushed me a bit when he moved in the seat. I was feeling extremely uncomfortable and asked him if he could go to his seat because I bought this one for my comfort. He told me no, since the seat is empty and he wants to be with his girlfriend. Well, I told him I understand, but I feel uncomfortable and I paid for the second seat, so exactly this doesn't happen. He refused again and started to chat with his GF. I called the flight attendant and quietly told her what is happening. She asked the guy to leave my second seat and he and his GF gave me a nasty look. The GF mumbled something like fat under her breath, but nothing directly to me. So am I the asshole for insisting on him to leave? NTA former flight attendant. It's your seat. You paid for it. If that classless couple wanted to sit together that badly, they should have paid for seats together. I must point out the flight attendant was absolute sweetheart. Very kind and understanding, smiley face. She was also giving me the belt extension, and when I apologized to her, she told me not to worry about it, and it was overall very pleasant situation to talk to her. NTA. If it happens again, don't let them sit down. Block the extra seat and state immediately, I paid for two seats. This one is not available. Once I got on a plane, Southwest, and they actually had a small piece of laminated paper sitting on a seat with this information. Made it easy to tell. NTA. It doesn't matter why you purchased that seat. You could have bought it for the spirits of your ancestors so they could guide you safely to your destination, and it would have been no one's business but yours. Sorry this happened. NTA. You bought that seat. The couple sitting apart has nothing to do with you. It'd gaff if you were thin and bought a second seat for your emotional support ghost. That's your seat. Emotional support ghost, brilliant. Up should use this excuse next time. Have an award. NTA. They tried to take something you paid for and then were rude to you. It's a bit shocking, really, considering the number of people who comment on social media that larger people should have to buy two seats. Please don't feel bad about yourself because they chose to be horrid and entitled. I must say I flew several times with just one seat since there were not two available, and I always apologized to the person next to me, and it was never an issue. They were usually nice and told me not to worry about it. NTA, it wasn't a free/available seat. You purchased it, you bought the seat, so it is occupied. NTA, you paid for that seat, it's your seat, and frankly airplane seats are too small. I was on a flight last week, I bought it last minute and ended up with a center seat in the basic cabin. The cheap seats on United flights, at least on this plane, don't have movable armrests. My hips hit both armrests, red walls, it was very uncomfortable. I wear a women's 10-12, after that experience I will always buy two seats if I'm in the back, or at least never settle for less than business class. NTA. You did exactly what people scream at fat people to do and still got abuse hurled at you. The fact they didn't even ask is odd. AITA for not wanting to help Miso with our twins? We have 4 kids together, in total ages 6, 4, 1, 1. For context, I have always been vocal about not wanting more than 2 kids. Our firstborn is a boy and secondborn is a girl, so I was happy to have one of each. I am the sole breadwinner as daycare costs would not make it worth it for her to work as well. After our second child, I told her I was done and wanted to have a vasectomy. She was against that and wanted to have a third. We fought about this for months. I didn't want to get it done against her will. Her reason for wanting another was that she always wanted a bigger family. My reason against was that I felt that she had a hard time keeping up with daily tasks with only 2 kids. I also spoke to her at length about how another child would be financially unsustainable since I have 2 jobs and am barely making ends meet, not to mention that I too am exhausted all the time. Anyway, before we could reach a conclusion, she fell pregnant. She was on the pill and, according to her, barely ever missed a day. We now have a total of 4 beautiful children that I love, but I cannot bring myself to giving her the extra help for the twins. We now are stressed and fight all the time. I sometimes want to help her with the twins, but it gets me so discouraged to see everything I warned her against come to pass. I know they are my children too, but it is not fair to get yourself in a situation when everyone is advising you against it. Then ask for help when the shit hits the fan. Now, when I come home from work, I help just as much as I used to with our first 2 children, nothing more, nothing less. AITA for refusing to help my wife with the twins? YTA, it doesn't sound like you were coerced into having more kids. These children are yours and your responsibility now. Edit, to be clear, my verdict was looking specifically at him not helping with the twins. I hope he doesn't continue that when they are old enough to understand favorites. You're right, it sounds like he was baby-trapped into having more kids. Her consistently taken birth control failed immediately after he requested a vasectomy? Only a fool would see that as a coincidence. OP works 2 jobs. He's fulfilling his responsibility by being the sole provider and by helping out with the kids. He said she fell pregnant. LOL, as if he had no contribution to that act. Is this a joke? You contributed to the creation of those twins. Get on board, get therapy, or pay child support when she dumps you. So you're neglecting your children just to punish your wife and make your point. Got it, YTA. He's neglecting 2 out of his 4 children. This will have absolutely no impact on how the twins will feel about themselves, him, and their siblings who kept getting daddy's attention and care while they were left alone with their burnt-out mother. Absolutely not at all. AITA for refusing to vacation with my disabled friend anymore? I, F30s, have a friend Ashley, F30s. Ashley and I have been friends since we were 13. We drifted apart after high school but stayed in touch. Ashley is disabled. She has fibromyalgia. We planned to go on a short vacation together to the city, which was Ashley's idea. We planned this over a year in advance to stay for 3 nights. The actual vacation was okay, but I found being around Ashley stressful. She extremely overpacked. She brought 7 outfits, different types of hairdryers, and a bunch of other stuff that just wasn't needed, and was always complaining about how heavy her bags are. She insisted on going for long walks through the city, but then would get tired and say we need to get a taxi home as she can't walk back. The last straw for me was that Ashley had a full-on meltdown at the station. I walked her to the station. I wasn't getting the train back. We live in completely different areas. We got to the desk and she asked the staff if there was a wheelchair available she could use as she was struggling to walk any further to get to her platform. They said they were all being used and asked if she booked assistance, and she hadn't, and they told her a chair should be available in around an hour. Ashley lost her cool and yelled at them and said that she's going to miss her train, and she sat on the floor. I tried to calm her down, but there was just no use. She was very insulting and called them names. It was so embarrassing. I stayed with Ashley and eventually the manager arrived with the chair. He helped Ashley and she went home. 2 days after we got home, Ashley asked me if I'd be down for a similar vacation next year. I told her no thanks. I tried to explain to her that I think after our experience it's better if we don't vacation together. Ashley is now angry with me and said I'm being ableist, but I struggle to put up with how disorganized she is in regards to her own needs. NTA. Like, her behavior has nothing to do with a disability, so that shouldn't even be mentioned, except where she tried to make it an excuse. Gross. If you don't travel well together, then you don't. Agreed, I have MS. I know I can only walk so much each day, so I plan my life around what I can do. When I overdo it, it's my fault. I don't abuse others because I didn't budget my limitations properly. NTA. She's not a good traveler. Overpacking, complaining about her overpacking, not knowing her limits, berating staff. It's not because you're disabled, it's because you are disorganized. Those are different things. NTA, you aren't being an ableist. You're choosing not to vacation with someone who was not properly prepared for the trip and who caused a scene after not making the necessary reservations. It has nothing to do with her illness. I wouldn't want to go again either. NTA. You aren't refusing to vacation together because of your friend's disability. You simply aren't vacation compatible. There are very few people I will vacay with because we simply don't want to go to the same places and do the same things. I would be at a complete loss with someone who brought 2 hairdryers with her. You two can be good friends, but not vacation friends. Yelling at staff because she failed to make advance arrangements during the peak of the tourist season makes her a poor traveling companion for anybody. And today, while fibromyalgia is no joke, it appears she did quite a few things to make her own situation worse. Even with those things aside, just her flat-out yelling at the employees at the station would have been it for me. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.